Good evening and many thanks for choosing KUTV News at 9 once again tonight, where we got to celebrate 15 years of the Constitution. So much more coming up, and let's get a short intro.
This is KUTV Primetime News with Yvonne Kemuma.
That's right. Engage with us on X at KUTV_Kenya, at Kemuma_Monari. We are streaming live on YouTube at KUTV News Kenya. Let's begin. Now, President William Ruto has unveiled an ambitious development blueprint for Kiambu County, pledging billions of shillings for housing, healthcare, agriculture, and infrastructure. The president spoke in State House, Nairobi, where he met up with grassroots leaders from Kiambu County to share the progress. This report was produced by Nelly Liai.
While meeting grassroots leaders from Kiambu County, President William Ruto sharply criticized the opposition, saying that they lack developmental agenda. Ruto urged the Kiambu leaders not to be swayed or divided by the opposition leaders, saying they do not have any clear plan for the state of the economy, education, or farming.
Tusikubali kugawanywa, na watu ambao hawana mpango yoyote. They have no plan. Hawajui tutapanga namna gani kilimo, hawajui tutapanga namna gani masomo, hawajui tutapanga namna gani biashara.
Additionally, the head of state insisted that it is the voters and not opposition leaders that hold the powers to elect MPs, governors, senators, and even the president.
Hii ni nchi ya demokrasia. Wale wengine wasitupotezee wakati. Wawache vitisho, wawache chuki, wawache ukabila, wawache fitina na porojo, watengeneze manifesto yao.
He further highlighted major developmental projects in Kiambu County, including the construction of 30 modern markets, 15,000 housing units, saying that the economy of the country is on a safe footing.
I can stand here and tell you our economy is now in very sound footing. Our inflation has come down from 9.6% to 4%.
Leo nimeona Kiambu imekuja kwa wingi. Ni fire si fire, ni fire si fire, ni noma si noma, ni two term si two term. Kwa hivyo nikisema harambe, mnasema tutamarambe. Harambe.
Babu, Your Excellency, wakati ule tulikuwa tunaenda kwa campaign ya uchaguzi wa 2022. Kuna mambo ambayo tulikubaliana na wewe, Mungu akikujalia na kwa uwezo wa kura za watu wa Kiambu upate kazi ya rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya. Kuna mambo ambaye ungetufanyia kama nchi na ufanyie watu wa Kiambu.
As this happens, the head of state reiterated his call for unity, saying that Kenya is one country. James Baraka for KUTV.
Now, today the Senate commenced its 3-day impeachment trials against embattled Kericho Governor Eric Mutai, who is facing his second impeachment attempt before the House. In today's session, while appearing before the House, Mutai pleaded not guilty to the charges.
Inside the Senate chambers today, Kericho County Governor Eric Mutai once again faced an impeachment attempt, barely a year after surviving a similar bid. The 3-day impeachment trial comes after Mutai's accusation of financial misconduct and abuse of office. Prosecution lawyer Elisha Ongoya tabled additional evidence in documents concerning procurement violations.
Distinguished senators, This is a governor who has taken impunity in his own hands. In his own hands. Evidence will show you that this incident of impunity was undertaken on his second day in office. When that video will be played, you will hear him announcing loudly, there is a new sheriff in town. That's what you'll hear when the evidence finally plays out.
However, drama engulfed when the defense lawyer Kutv again played audio recordings of MCAs Honorable Rogon and Kibet alleging proxy voting in the impeachment motion. Rogon was heard pleading for an affidavit to confirm an absent MCA's intent, raising serious concerns about the integrity of the process. Governor Eric Mutai defended himself, firmly denying all charges and accusations. He argued that the county assembly did not meet the required 2/3 majority for his removal. Mutai insisted he is innocent, describing the allegations as political sabotage fueled by rivals seeking to undermine his leadership and tarnish his reputation.
In Kericho is a well-orchestrated conspiracy, political conspiracy, to remove the governor of Kericho. One is for political interest and political expedition. Because you are seated there as the Speaker of this great house. At the county assembly, we also have a Speaker whose interest is...
The hearing continues until Friday, with cross-examinations expected. Governor Mutai's future depends on the Senate's final vote, set for August 29th, as political tensions remain high across Kericho. Paulette Akoth, KUTV, Nairobi.
Now, the Kenya Moja political movement has accused the Health Cabinet Secretary Aden Duale and the Social Health Authority Chief Executive Officer Mercy Mwangangi of presiding over what they termed as a well-calculated scandal. Speaking during a press conference in Nairobi earlier today, the members of the movement called for the immediate resignation of the two, claiming that public funds under SHA are being misused, including payments of facilities that no longer operate. Well, from Matters Health, we are due for our fast break and then we'll be back with other stories.
The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom.
The Bible says, when he spoke, then he spoke a parable to them, that men always ought to pray and not lose heart.
Christ says, I stand in the door and I knock. Whoever hears my voice and opens, I will dwell with him.
Like the moon, I will fade, but like the star, I will rise again. And though I fall, be rest assured that I will rise again.
Go to the hospitals, tell them that God will heal them. Go to the prisons, tell them that they'll be free. Go to the crusades and tell people that Christ is coming, and sooner than the word itself, the second advent is imminent.
This is Mandela Daya.
Ugonjwa ulipokuja ulichukua siku 3 ukaniweka in coma. 20 wamezikwa, 2 ndio wako hai.
I don't even know how it feels to see.
I feel like I cannot express myself well the way somebody who can walk can actually express themselves.
Ilichukua muda mwingi mrefu tena mpana ili kuikubali kwamba mimi siwezi tembea tena.
I've come to actually accept myself.
Ukijaribu kumsimamisha mtu mwambie tafadhali nionyeshe njia.
They find it quite strange talking to you.
You should just make schools integrated,
Inclusive setups.
by providing the right facilities.
Are you healthy, or rather, do you maintain a healthy lifestyle? According to WHO, health is regarded as a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease. Welcome to Focus on Health, a show on all matters health, wellness, and lifestyle. On this show, we cover a wide variety of topics inclusive of, but not limited to, dental, optical, mental, reproductive health, and so much more. Join me, Joy Bofenda, every Thursday at 7:30 p.m. on KUTV for compelling insights and discussions on all matters health. See you then.
Focus on Health, your weekly dose of health and wealth information on KUTV.
You are watching KUTV Primetime News with Yvonne Kemuma.
You can always engage with us on X at KUTV_Kenya, at Kemuma_Monari. Let's continue. Welcome back. Now, President William Ruto has challenged Kenyans to reflect on their duty to obey, preserve, and fully implement the Constitution. Speaking at the Katiba Day celebrations at KICC, the president praised the gains made under the 2010 Constitution, including devolution and expanded rights, while urging all citizens and institutions to deepen constitutionalism.
Good governance, equality, and justice defines our nation. Kenya celebrates its 15th anniversary of the 2010 Constitution, held at Kenyatta International Convention Center, where various leaders, including the President, Deputy President, among other national officials, attended. President William Ruto praised the Constitution as one of the transformative in history, emphasizing its role in advancing citizen-centered governance, devolution, and fundamental rights protection. Katiba Day will be observed annually with civic activists to promote constitutional awareness across government institutions and schools.
Today, on the 15th anniversary of the enactment of the Constitution, we celebrate Katiba Day to honor the covenant and to renew our fidelity to its vision. This Constitution is acclaimed across the world as one of the most progressive and transformative. It is our solemn duty to preserve it, protect it, and to ensure its full implementation.
On the other hand, Deputy President Kithure Kindiki emphasized the responsibility of generations and equality among different generations, stressing that no generation is superior to other, as are clearly stated in the Constitution.
And that is the chapter on the Bill of Rights, on the socio-economic rights, which your administration, Your Excellency, has taken head on to deal with the difficult issues of public health and ensuring every citizen has the highest standard of health, making sure that we, as many Kenyans as possible, live in dignified dwellings which have sanitation, which can pass for dwellings that are of dignity.
Mudavadi also emphasized the importance of unity and consensus to address fundamental national issues. He warned against amendments that undermine constitutionalism, especially the separation of powers among the executive, judiciary, and legislature. The Constitution exists to serve the people as a shield, not a constraint. Mudavadi urged national dialogue, civic engagement, and rule of law, urging all Kenyans to embrace and live by the Constitution on this significant Katiba Day.
Your Excellency, this Constitution has also been tested and proven to be built to create strong institutions. All of us will remember when on 1st September 2017, the Supreme Court surprised all and sundry when they annulled a presidential election. The executive then respected the court ruling, and the country went back to a repeat presidential election.
As the nation marks 15 years since the promulgation of the new constitution in 2010, various civil society organizations have come out strongly to express their dissatisfaction with how the constitution is being implemented. According to them, there is no reason to celebrate. The activists who convened in Mombasa have condemned what they described as blatant violations of the constitutions. Among the issues they raised are the brutal killings of Gen Z youths, excessive use of police force in protest, a surge in abduction cases across the country, and widespread corruption in various government offices. According to the activists, all these issues go against the spirit and intention of the constitution, which was meant to uphold justice, accountability, and good governance.
Ufupi, katiba imekufa. Kwa nini? Kitu ya kwanza, mtu ambaye wa kwanza alipinga hii katiba na kazunguka Kenya mzima akisema hii katiba ni mbaya ni huyu rais. Hata implement aje. Pili, serikali ama katiba ni karatasi tu. Mwenye kuifanya aipe maisha ama uhai ni mwanadamu ambaye amepewa position kwa ile position. Kwa zile zinaitwa constitutional bodies. Kwa sababu serikali na run through constitutional bodies. Ya kwanza ni executive, ya pili ni parliament, ya tatu ni judiciary, alafu kuna zile constitutional commission kama IPOA, National Lands Commission, kuna Kenya National Commission of Human Rights. Ukiangalia vizuri sana, Rais William Samoei Ruto ameweka wale watu tunaita conformist, yani wale watu wake wa ndani ambao hawawezi ku-actualize mambo ambayo katiba inatakana ifanye.
Leading minds in medical technology gathered at the Transforming African MedTech Conference 2025 aimed at improving and strengthening medical technology in Africa, emphasizing the need for governments to invest in local investors through payment systems such as the Social Health Authority for Hospitals. Our reporter Caroline Kimwere, who attended the conference and filed this report.
In efforts to improve Africa's healthcare sector, particularly in medical technology, experts, policymakers, and government representatives have convened the Transforming African MedTech Conference 2025 in Nairobi, showcasing cutting-edge innovations, exploring investment opportunities, and shaping the future of healthcare delivery.
In the medical world, we are also digitizing health records so that when you go to a hospital, you don't need to write things on paper, just your names and everything. If you put your name on the computer, it brings up all your other names, which are normally kept by the national systems. So we have taken e-health very high, and we have adopted, and we believe if you take this, it will actually improve the efficiency.
There's so many hospitals that don't have equipment. You just go there, you want a scan to be made or a diagnostic service to be done, and they don't have the equipment, so they basically just assess you clinically, and then they give you a diagnosis which is not evidence-based. It's not been tested or diagnosed properly. And then that leads to other complications, because then you end up over-treating somebody for something that they didn't have, which leads to more complications, which leads to even more healthcare spending. So trying to reduce that is by coming up with solutions that can help us, local solutions that can help address some of those challenges.
Medical technology experts are also urging the government to invest in local innovators, for instance, through payment systems such as the Social Health Authority, SHA, for hospitals to ensure innovators are properly compensated and supported.
If you're innovating, you're providing a solution and you're not getting paid, then you end up shutting down, right? So I think SHA needs to keep doing what they're doing, and also make sure that the payments are also coming in good time, right? Because then when SHA is able to reimburse the hospitals, then the hospitals can be able to pay the innovators who have provided them with digital solutions, with medtech solutions.
Various organizations and companies were also present, showcasing and explaining their technological innovations, highlighting how these solutions can improve healthcare access even closer to patients.
Clinic at Hand, that is the name of the device. The concept is we are empowering practitioners to be able to provide outreach kind of treatment that maybe you are in your house and do not want to go to hospital, but you still need a doctor to see you.
We are working together to help reduce the death of mother and child, because this is one of the major problems affecting Nigerians, and not just Nigerians, Africans, not just Africans, globally.
We have developed a wireless electrocardiogram monitor to monitor heart patients real time, and this allows a lot of patients to be monitored remotely by their doctors even when they're in a rural facility.
However, the issue of inadequate funding emerged as one of the major challenges facing the rollout of medical technology innovations.
We are at the level of looking at the financial areas and how can we innovate, who supports. We tend to be supported by external bodies, and most of them support the innovations, but very few people want to innovate to support the implementation.
Calls to ensure that innovations remains patient-centered and inclusive took the center stage at the conference. Caroline Kimwele, KUTV, Loresho, Nairobi.
Now, on to similar news related to tech and innovation. Now, African nations have been urged to revolutionize education by embracing locally developed AI solutions. We'll get this report by Rose Kabuku.
At the Africa Premier AI Conference, the need for Africa to develop sovereign AI in education systems that embody the continent's value, cultures, and aspiration that will ensure a future shaped by African innovation and ownership has been emphasized. Some of the stakeholders in attendance noted the effectiveness of foreign AI in African classrooms is wanting, citing language barriers, curriculum distortion, and algorithm colonialism. Calls were made for more investors to take on the task of funding locally developed AI.
In developing countries, we need that kind of high-quality education, and we need it delivered contextually aligned with Kenya, Kenyan values, Kenyan logic and contextual alignment, Kenyan linguistic styles, Kenyan references, Kenyan frames of reference, Kenyan metaphors, Kenyan analogies. How better to teach a Kenyan citizen than the Kenyan way of biology, not the American way of biology. There are too few teachers that are capable to handle 55 million people, or 35 million of those 55 that need to study. So Arthur bridges that gap. Where one teacher before might have been able to handle a classroom of say 30 or 50 people, now one teacher can handle a classroom of 5,000 or 10,000 people virtually. So you don't need those brick and mortar buildings anymore. You don't need bus systems. You don't need to buy textbooks for 10,000 people. You don't need to have backpacks. You don't have to provide food, transportation, lodging for all those students. That same institution now can service a much wider audience online in a hybrid environment and bridge that gap where teachers simply aren't available.
The use of Arthur, which is an education online learning platform. This AI, the way it has been launched today, it is an agent that is equalizing education, whereby once you use this online tool based on AI, it brings equalization in a way that it doesn't matter which school you are going to. It doesn't matter whether it's a rural school, deep down in the villages, whether you are going to Mangu or you are going to Harvard. This LMS platform equalizes education.
African nations are now called to embrace locally developed AI to ensure ethical, sovereign, and promotion of equal learning opportunities.
Now, Cabinet Secretary for Gender, Culture, Arts and Heritage, Hannah Cheptumo, has issued a stern warning against child molesters and those practicing FGM. Speaking in Testai Primary School in Nakuru County, Cheptumo called on all parents to take care of their children, remarks that were echoed by the First Lady Rachel Ruto.
Why do you molest our children? So that one should come to an end. We don't want to hear about it. And if at all you are found doing that, we will ensure that you are prosecuted and you go to where people will not want to be in their lives. That is in prison, and you stay there forever until you know what it means.
Wazazi, ni jukumu letu kutunza watoto wetu.
The children of Kenya is the software. This is where we nurture life. This is where when we get it right, we take care of our children well, then our country is going to be okay.
Now we will take our second break and then we'll back with the sports news. See you on the other side.
Are you healthy, or rather, do you maintain a healthy lifestyle? According to WHO, health is regarded as a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease. Welcome to Focus on Health, a show on all matters health, wellness, and lifestyle. On this show, we cover a wide variety of topics, inclusive of but not limited to dental, optical, mental, reproductive health, and so much more. Join me, Joy Bofenda, every Thursday at 7:30 p.m. on KUTV for compelling insights and discussions on all matters health. See you then.
Focus on Health, your weekly dose of health and wealth information on KUTV.
Imagine a world where you are empowered to take charge of your health, where you are well informed about the latest advancements in healthcare and understand the policies that impact your well-being. Get ready to take charge of matters your health as we bring you a blend of weekly health features that engage professionals from across various medical fields.
When do you decide as a patient, do I need to go see the doctor? We are at a stage where we are seeing all this manner of chronic illnesses, and we wait until we get a disease, and then is when we go ahead.
From the most mundane to the complexities that perhaps seem overwhelming, we got you covered.
In terms of factors that might be attributed, there are hereditary factors that could be, that means it could be genetic, so that's one factor. But there are other factors as well, like nutritional deficiencies. So some vitamins such as folate have been identified to be a factor in those. So
our mission is to break down intricate health topics into understandable and actionable insights. Join me, Yvonne Kemuma, every Wednesday 9 p.m. on KUTV's News at 9, where your health is our priority. In today's Carabao Cup second round matches, teams from from different league levels will thrill football fans tonight. The most anticipated clash is with the Grimsby Town against Manchester United, as it will be meeting for the first time since 1948. Apart from that match, other fixtures scheduled for tonight include Everton versus Mansfield Town, Fulham facing Bristol City, and Oxford United taking on Brighton. Those matches will determine who qualifies for the third round. We have come to the conclusion of this particular broadcast. I do trust you have been well informed. That is all the time we had for you tonight. I am Yvonne Kemuma. You can always engage with us on X at KUTV_Kenya, at Kemuma_Monari. Catch our normal programming on KUTV Kenya and our news on KUTV News Kenya. And that is all the time we have. Have a good night.